guys, what's going on? I know it's been a minute, but hey, your girl's been busy, okay? I've been trying to start businesses. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I got the kids, got a whole husband, and I've been, like I said, been trying to really work on self-care, taking care of myself, and really making sure I take time out for me. Today's video is something that's, it just kind of really ticked me off, okay? And I thought, you know what, I need to let y'all know about it because this could very well affect y'all as well. Most of my viewers come from YouTube, from IVF, from the journey I had with trying to conceive. And I thought that y'all would need to know what's going on, okay? So last year, me and my husband decided to get private life insurance. Instead of just using the ones through the jobs, we thought, let's take out a personal life policy for our family. Well, my husband got approved, my kids got approved. Me, they said that mine was under review and pending. And I'm like, what? I'm like, under review, pending. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what's, So I waited and I waited and I waited, and a couple of weeks later, I didn't hear anything. I got a letter in the mail, and it was from the underwriting department, and they said, hey, I'm sorry, but due to your drug use, your drug prescription use background, we are unable to approve you for life insurance. Now, when I got that letter in the mail, this had been some weeks after, okay? So I'm like wondering what's going on. I called, they're like, yeah, the underwriting department, if there's anything, they'll send you a letter. You can't communicate with them by phone. I'm like, what? Okay, fine. So when I got the letter in the mail, my heart dropped because I'm like, oh my gosh, they must have been confused with somebody else, like what's on drug history. Because whenever you apply for life insurance privately, they ask you, are you allowing us to pull records from drug use or right? I'm like, yeah, of course I'm checking the box. Yeah, of course, because I've never been a drug user. If anything, they look at my YouTube, they'll see I'm scared of needles. Like, I'm scared of them. Like, seriously? So anyway, I read the paper, and it said you can email the drug use, the drug department. What was that? So basically, I had to reach out to the Milliman IntelliScript Consumer Report to try and see what was going on. To try and see what was going on with the drug history. And so when I got the prescription, or when I got the list back, so this is how it went. On here it says, if all of the prescriptions on your report are accurate, you would have to contact the insurance company about the specific denial reason, and the Milliman IntelliScript does not make insurance decisions and cannot explain how decisions are made. So basically, because I had wrote them, I said, hi, thanks for getting back to me about, getting the list of the drugs. And I said, I was so confused about what was listed on my report since I was denied coverage with Globe Life Insurance. After reading the list of prescriptions, I didn't understand why my IVF prescriptions got me denied. I've had 4 IVF procedures. I'm assuming I have to write the insurance underwriting department to explain them, the multiple use of the prescriptions to get approved. I'm just a bit confused. So this was in July, okay? Now, after I wrote the underwriting department, I didn't receive nothing back, okay? Nothing. Come August, this was around August, I believe, yeah, I decided to call them. And I said, hey, I'm talking to the customer service department because you can't talk to the underwriting department. And I'm like, hey, I haven't received anything, what's going on with my account? And while I'm doing this, I'm steady paying for my other, I'm paying for my husband. We're paying for, my husband's. And of course, I don't know what's going on. You'd have to wait for the underwriting department to reach back out to you. I said, okay, well, how long does that take? Well, we're not sure. We can't reach out to them. Nobody can talk to them. Nobody. So at this point, I'm just kind of furious because I applied with y'all around around May. And of course, this was when, coronavirus was already out there and everything. So I started looking into insurance companies, and that's what had me start saying, let me go ahead and get some private insurance, private life insurance. So anyway, fast forward, come August, September, I'm calling them, within weeks apart. What's going on? What's going on? So with one lady, I said, well, look, I haven't heard anything. They hadn't responded back to me. Well, they should have wrote you. I said, no, they didn't. I did an appeal. I wrote them a long letter, okay? A long letter. As a matter of fact, I wrote them this. So this is what I wrote them. I'm going to read this to y'all. Okay. I'm going to get a little closer. Okay. So I'm getting a little bit closer. Sorry if I'm getting a little closer. Sorry if I look a little bad to y'all, a little raunchy, but let's do this. It says, I recently applied, this was July 7th when I wrote them. I recently applied for life insurance for myself, my husband, and my 3 sons. Upon waiting for my application to be approved, I received a letter in the mail stating that due to my prescription history, I was denied life insurance coverage. I quickly requested for a copy of my prescription history in fear that it was mixed up with someone else's report. I requested it on July 2nd and received it July 6th. I looked at the report and all the prescriptions listed from 2014 until now, looking for any errors or corrections needing to be made. Now I am just a bit confused to understand why I was denied. In 2014, I started my IVF, and I put in quotations, in vitro fertilization journey. I had a successful IVF transfer, but had my twins early at 23 weeks, and they didn't survive. In 2015, I had my second successful IVF transfer, but my baby had a birth defect, which caused me to lose her at 10 weeks. October of 2015, I had my third IVF transfer, but it was a failed, didn't implant. December of 2016, I had my fourth IVF transfer, which was successful, and I delivered my twin boys August of 2017. Each IVF transfer involved the same repetitive medications. I didn't take anything more or less than what was required for each transfer. John Crochet was my IVF specialist doctor, and with the medications prescribed resulted in my now almost 3-year-old twin boys, Levi and Lenix. This was, of course, last year when I wrote this. Between 2014 and 2017, I've had surgeries to remove fibroids and fallopian tubes to have a successful IVF transfer and pregnancy, in which I've had. Also cesareans to deliver my first and second set of twins. In close, I am not sure which of these medications would make me denied coverage for trying to expand my family, or how many times these medications were given during each transfer would give me a denial, but I was only trying to expand my family. I haven't had an IVF transfer since 2016, which is shown on the prescription history. I haven't taken any medication since my last IVF transfer. I am a healthy, at that time I was 36, I am a healthy 36-year-old with no underlying medical conditions, nor do I have any pre-existing factors preventing me to live a healthy lifestyle for me, my husband, or kids. I am asking for a more detailed review to appeal your decision and improve my application, or tell me what is needed to show that I am healthy and not a high risk. I received all medical history and prescription history because I was sure there would be no issue. I released all the medical history and prescription history because I was sure that there would be no issue for me and my family. However, I'm just not sure why mine came back denied. Okay, I also listed some questions that they had me answer when I first filled out some information. When it says, is the proposed insured currently disabled due to illness, confined to a hospital, or require a wheelchair? No. In the past 3 years, have the proposed insured been diagnosed or treated by a member of the medical facility due to cancer, blah, blah, blah. I said no. So basically it was a lot of questions that I put on there on on the message when I mailed it. So that's what I sent. Okay, now that was July 6th. Okay, so I never received a response. I never received the answer back at all. So when I called back around August, I called and spoke with a customer service representative, and I asked her, was there a way that I can just reapply and we can put more things into the notation? She said, sure, that might be a good idea. And I'm like, you know, like, why would I even want to be with a company that is so unorganized? Nobody knows what they're doing, and everybody seems like, you know, nobody can get in touch with that department. I put in another application, and I once again didn't hear anything. I called back around, I want to say around, was it October? I want to say it was October. Was it October? Let me see. Here we go. November, because I wrote a long post on Facebook about it, and I'll get to that part too. So November, I decided to reach out, and they said, oh, well, it looks like they denied you again, but it doesn't put a reason why. And I said, you know, this has been annoying. I said, you know what, cancel all of the other accounts. I'll go to a different agency, which I am still in the midst of finding. I think I found one I think I may go with. I'm not sure yet, but I went on Facebook and I went off. I added and tagged and everything Globe Life, so they can see that your underwriting department as well as your communication with your customer service reps are unacceptable. They're unacceptable. I then went, whenever you go to a page, you know, Facebook gives you all these ads. So now I'm getting all kind of Globe Life ads, and guess what? Every one of them I disliked, and I posted my post. So this is what I wrote on Facebook. I put long post and rant about Globe Life Insurance. I need a life insurance company. Any suggestions? Please read below. I said, after I stopped paying for life insurance through my employer, I decided to get some private insurance. I went through Globe Life and applied for my whole family. My husband and kids were approved immediately, but mine was denied through underwriting. After a month, I received a letter from the underwriting department stating that it was denied, and the reason listed was due to my drug report. I instantly figured they got me mixed up with someone else because I never ever did drugs. I mean, I never even smoked a cigarette. So I reached out to the drug administration department that was listed on the denial letter from the underwriting department. A week later, by email, I received the report, and every drug listed was from 2014 to 2016, and it was from doing IVF. Yes, every medication was from trying to conceive my children. So they said to appeal the denial, my only way was to write a letter. So old-fashioned and time-consuming, but I did it. I wrote them July 6th. I called back in September. So there you go. Remember I said around August, September. I called back in September, and the customer service agent said they don't have access to the underwriting department. So I have to write again and wait for a response. I waited another month and still no response or updates. I called back in October and still no response or updates. They made sure to keep taking my money for the other 4 accounts. So the day after my birthday, November 3rd, I called and reapplied. During this time, I asked the agent if there was a way to place notes on my account about the medical history and what the meds were used for. She said yes, and even asked, was I done having kids? Like, wow. I need to let y'all know I won't be having any more kids just for y'all to approve me. So now, November 11th, 7 days later, I called because, again, no response. No mail, no email, no call, no nothing. The agent said my application was denied again. The agent said there's no reason showing, and once again would have to correspond by mail. I went ahead and just canceled my husband and children's policy. It hurts to know that because I went through the years trying to have kids, and because of the medications used to conceive, I was denied coverage, not once, but twice. This was clearly the worst experience in which worst experience, which life insurance is already hard to talk about, but to know your life isn't valuable alive or dead. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah. So that happened. So, fast forward. This letter says December 2nd, 2020. Dear LaQuisha, thank you for applying for insurance with our company. We regret that you have decided We regret that you have decided to not pursue the request for valuable protection. We are complying with your request and discontinuing our handling of your application. Attached to this letter is your initial premium, which was $1. They sent me $1. They said they regret to inform me that I have decided not to pursue the request for valuable protection. This is the only correspondence I've received from them for me, for myself. Now my children, my husband, they all received their insurance information in the mail, all beautifully, the payment, taken out. And I was just like, so the last payment, I said, you know what? I said, no, take everything out for automatic payment. Well, first of all, they didn't even set up my kids right. My kids were not on automatic payment, but my husband was on automatic payment. That make any sense? So my kids, they wasn't coming out, so I would have to pay them out manual. I said, you know what? It's like, that you have a payment due. I said, I'm not paying nothing until y'all tell me what's going on. I said, so take me off, even my husband. I said, take my husband and my kids off of auto pay if that's what you have us on. Okay, we have a payment. I said, I'll pay it when I get a denial or approval letter, depending on how it goes. So I'm saying all of this to you ladies that are going through IVF right now. IVF, frozen embryo transfer, IUI, anything that consists of taking medications to conceive a child. This ain't no what's the drug? This ain't no marijuana. This ain't no, what's the other one? I don't even know all the drugs because I don't do meth. This is no meth, cocaine. What's the other stuff? Pills that people take. This is medications to conceive a child. To conceive. And y'all literally denied me and left me with no explanation other than the medications that you've taken due to your drug history. And it clearly shows from 2014 to now, the only thing you have is the length of time I was trying to conceive. So if a smart person was in the underwriting department, they would look at the medical notes and the drug history to show, okay, wait a minute. Everything stops at 2016. Her kids were born in 2017 and she hasn't taken anything since. So what, I just became clean after I had my babies? So I'm saying all of this, like I said before, if you are right now, trying to conceive and you're taking medications, just know that Globe definitely is not the way to go. Okay? It's not the way to go. They denied me with no explanation. Then let me tell you, when they see my post, let me go to that. Check this out. Check this out. Let me show y'all how cray they are. Okay. So I sent them the message on Globe Life, okay? And let's see. I sent them a message on Globe Life on, let me see. I sent it to them. This was around November. I sent them that same message. I received a call from them. I did. Hi, I'm just calling in regards to the post that you made on Facebook. I said, yes. I said, well, what can you do for me that y'all couldn't have done before this? Well, I'm going to look into your account. And I'm going to, ask and talk with my manager. And we're going to see what we can do. I said, oh, okay. She never called back. So I don't know if because I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the reason. I'm not even gonna say what I really want to say. But what is the reason? What is the reason, Globe? What's the reason that you denied me? You said based on my drug history. Based on my drug history. Like, I take these things daily. And the medicine they prescribe you after you have a baby is what is that called? It's some pain medicine. I don't even know the name of it because I didn't take it. I never took none of it. Never. I never had to go get another prescription for it. Nothing. Like, I didn't take them. And they have left me with no explanation of why they denied me. So I have a couple of different insurance companies that I'm going to look into and to explain to them. And I'm glad I'm doing this video because it just reminds me to go ahead and start calling them. I definitely wanted to go through Globe because I have family members that go through them and they talk about how they like them and they this and they that. So I decided to go through them. But I'm glad it just happened because now I'm pretty sure a lot of my family members are going to be like, you know what? The heck with Globe. So I have not received a response. And Globe Insurance, if you watching this, yeah, you owe me a response. This is ridiculous. This is not good business. And I do feel like I'm being discriminated against. I feel like this is a discrimination. Discrimination against a woman that had to conceive via IVF, via science, just to have children. And you deny me and won't cover me. And while I'm alive, you won't give me explanation and you won't cover me if I die. I just feel like it's discrimination. And their communication has been effortless. The communication has been none. You call me when you see a post on Facebook about me being upset and angry. But once y'all do that, go on Facebook or go to Globe Life and go to the website Globe Life and then go to your Facebook and watch how Globe Life is going to be on your stream, on your feed. And watch the angry face that's on there. That's me. I leave an angry face on every one of them. And I'm about to start posting my post again to let people know that if you go through IVF, you will not get life insurance through Globe. They will deny you. Because that's the only reason they've shown me that they denied me. And if they have something else to say, to come to me and call me or email me. But I feel like that's discrimination. And they should have more explanation to why they denied me than just, oh, my drug history use between 2014 and 2016. But I feel like it's even more of a sore thumb because of the stuff I had to go through to get pregnant, the losses that I've had, and to put me through this, to put me through that, I feel like that's just so insensitive of a company this large. And for the managers, nobody to reach out. There's nobody that reached out to me. I've requested many times to speak to somebody else and there's been no one. So I took my little dollar back and I deposited it into my account. And they literally can kiss my whole entire behind. But I thought I would come to y'all and let y'all know if y'all decide as a family to get life insurance and you've gone through IVF or any type of scientific course, journey, are gonna get you denied. And I don't know if that's with every insurance company, but so far it's been with Globe. So yeah, so I guess I'll be talking to y'all later. Love y'all. Be safe. Bye bye.